and his home school is Map Factory, where he trains all the time.
Yeah, I was really happy to be able to get four of Sean's students up here for our event. Sean's been such a big supporter of our events, doing commentary with us, and I'm really excited that we're able to feature his students on our shows now as well.
Yeah, and I know. I mean, I watch a lot of jiu-jitsu competitions, and Sean's just the best in the business commentating, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
He's super knowledgeable. He does his homework, and it's just really, I learn more when he's commentating.
Absolutely.
Some of the things he says. You know,
I have absolutely improved my jiu-jitsu from hearing his commentary. Actually, our last event, commentating with him, I felt like I got better at jiu-jitsu just from working the commentary booth with Sean. Keith pulls right to seated guard, and
I think that was probably a smart strategy for him.
Absolutely. Dillon's controlling the shin right now, trying to get past the knee line.
Well, the other thing with these matches is they're potentially 10-minute matches, right, Andy? So there is an element of the pace. The pace has to be. You have to be cognizant that it could be a long match, but at the same time, it's hard to pace yourself because it's sub only, and we're looking, particularly our two back control overtimes. You can, it's easy to, not easy, but you can get a submission there, and
absolutely.
And you can't play, it's only a 6-minute regulation, so you don't see people playing like a lazy game.
No. But you absolutely do have to pace yourself. You don't want to blow yourself out in the first 2 minutes on the feet. Just maybe, like, let's say hand fighting when wrestling really isn't your strong suit, and tiring yourself out. You still have 4 minutes of regulation left, plus potentially 4 minutes of overtime rounds as well. Keith has his knee. He's framing his knee and his forearm together to keep Dillon from passing.
I feel like Dillon's working really hard to pass this guard and really not making a whole lot of progress. I mean, he's gotten some good scrambles and stuff, but I would think that this is relatively energy intensive for him, pushing that guard passing.
Absolutely. Keith looks like he's going to be right. Keith wrestles up to a single leg.
Let's see. So Dillon counters out. And shoots his own shot and gets a takedown.
Wow. Just on the edge of the mat, too.
That mentality, that's a wrestling mentality. Right after you go out of bounds or after somebody else, you counter, re-attack. That's something a lot of my wrestling coaches have said.
I remember really early on in my jiu-jitsu competition, I was able to use that mentality that I got brought from wrestling to win a lot of matches against maybe even more people that might have been more skilled and more technical than me at the time. I'm talking about when I was a white belt and early blue belt as well. Keith again has good frames here.
Looks like he has a half butterfly in too. He's not really committed to it, but there he has it in. With that half butterfly, he has a lot of options with that frame. I think he wants to get a little bit more underneath Dillon. It would be his goal. Dillon's doing a pretty good job of, not driving forward right now where he can elevate him. But that's what I think. I think Keith is probably looking for a little bit of that pressure, and then he's going to try to, there he goes. He's lifting a little bit, maybe trying to scoop the far leg. Now he's in sort of an arm drag position. I think he's trying to connect himself. But Dillon's playing a smart game here. He's not being too reckless driving forward. He's keeping his far leg out of the way, and really just a battle of frames, both guys. Oh, this is Keith has a pretty strong, threatening knee bar here. It's pretty shallow, but I think Dillon's
knee's almost out.
It's about out. It's still probably threatening, but
although it looks like he's transitioning to a bear trap, and Dillon is going for his own toe hold.
It's hard. It looks like neither positions immediately threatening. I think the knee opener / calf slicer is hard to finish because his legs weren't connected, and the toe hold was hard to finish because they were in a straight, his leg was straight, and he really didn't have it was high on his chest.
Something I've noticed that Keith's doing a good job of when Dillon's on his feet is keeping inside position with his feet, playing that seated guard. I know that that's something that a lot of people focus on, and just keeping that inside control, whether you're on your feet trying to pass someone with a seated guard, or you're playing seated guard yourself, trying to keep your feet inside.
Keith has a good position here now. He's got his hands locked. He has an underhook, and he has an inside position with one leg. He can roll. He looks like he's looking to roll to a leg lock, possibly come up on top here. I think he's going to elect to stay on the bottom and try to attack the legs, but Dillon, I think wisely, just kicks out, just wants a reset.
Now Dillon looks like he's going to be trying to set up his own body lock pass here.
Looks like the pace has slowed down a little bit here. I thought these guys were going pretty, it was a fast pace at the beginning, and it slowed down a little bit. But yeah, Dillon still has a pretty good position here. He's sort of a pinch headlock position with the butterfly hooks in, and I think really what he wants to do is enter into the legs. He doesn't seem to be working super hard for the sweep here as much so as, and then he wants to stay on the bottom position, it seems like, and work to attack the legs.
It seems like Dillon's doing a good job of using a strategy of every time Keith gets close to being able to sweep him, he's able to disengage and scramble back to his feet.
I think as far as kind of my thoughts on that period, I think that Keith was the more aggressive in trying to attack some leg locks. I don't think he got very close to any of them, but I think Dillon was playing more of or at least he wasn't threatening submissions. Now he's gonna get a chance to be on the back. So let's see what he can do from there.
Yep.
And he's keeping pretty good head position there. He has looks like he has the hand well past the line of the chin. He has it anchored on the shoulder. His back is not in a good position though. So
he's prying the chin up right now. It looks like
he's gonna have trouble finishing from there. What I'd like to see Dillon do is slide his left knee up. He's starting to lose the position now. He has a Kimura trap grip, and he still has the Kimura, but now they're going out of bounds.
Yep.
So Keith escaped the back control, and they're going to start in a neutral position.
So, reminder, when a competitor escapes in our overtime format, the match is not automatically over. Both competitors still have a chance to go for a submission during the duration of the overtime period. And now Keith will start on Dillon's back. So let's see what he can do from here.
This is the reason why we, like, I think Andy mentioned it before, but this event, because it's a show, we're looking to get submissions, and back controls where almost all at high levels of jiu-jitsu, gi and no-gi both actually, upwards of 70 or more percentage of submissions come from the back control. So that's what our thought was as far as starting competitors there. If they weren't able to get a submission in the 6 minutes, put them in the highest percentage position, see if they can get a submission there.
Looks like Dillon's doing a good job of controlling Keith's wrists, although Keith is close to punching that strangle arm through.
He has a pretty strong position here now. I don't know that he can hold it. It looks like he's looking to. He's Losing control of the back.
there.
So I have to say, if this goes to the points overtime, I feel like it's going to favor Dillon just because he has, he has really good wrestling skills, and but Keith does have the option to sit to guard, so and either wrestle up from there or attack submissions and sweeps.
Absolutely. Going to victory.
I see Sean is telling him to sit as soon as possible. This is a sudden victory match, and he sits right away.
Yeah.
He sits to guard, and they're going to work from there. So they have 2 minutes to work from here. But it's the first point scored wins this.
Yeah.
So,
and like you mentioned, that was probably a good strategy for Keith to use to avoid getting.
Well, that was close.
That was
pass.
very close to
close
pass.
to a pass. Dillon did a quick movement and was almost able to pass, but now he himself is in trouble. And wow, great action there.
Great action, yeah. This is, I feel like there was a little bit of not a lull, but like the pace died down a little bit during the middle of the match, but this overtime round, they've really picked it up. And I think it's because they know that the first person to score here is going to win the match.
Dillon's doing a really great job of getting his initial passing grips, if you will, or position, and immediately putting Keith in a position where he's, I guess, almost a step behind. Although this time, I think he sort of sat into a butterfly guard. Doesn't have great position, so he's trying to create space. He's pushing away, which is probably a smart thing to do. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Andy? If this match ends right now, I'm not sure. I think Dillon had closer passing attempts.
Exactly. That's what I was going to think too. Is Dillon was closer to scoring positionally, but it looks like Keith was closer to scoring submission attacks.
He had, and they weren't real close.
No.
But he had the only position attacks that.
And he's able to get the pass.
It was a quick pass with a cement mixer kind of series. So he got an underhook and got ahead and got a quick cement mixer.
Looks like he got his nose a little bloody too there.